Good day and Popona, welcome back to another stream. I'm Palakisu, and today I'm got more folklore and other stuff to talk about, because if you didn't know, it's the Lunar New Year tomorrow. Not today, but I have plans tomorrow, so I'll be streaming then. I don't stream often, so I don't suppose you'd expect me to, but I am streaming now. But yes. Today I am streaming, and I just wanted to talk about dragons, basically. That's it, really. Dragons, that's the stream. So yeah, or rather, I'm here to talk about folklore of dragons, because there's a lot of interesting stuff there, though I suppose a lot of people will know, are more likely to know about the actual folklore of dragons compared to the other stuff like myths and weasels, because their folklore is less, just a little bit less well known, but you're more likely to know at least one or two of these tales. Also, I forgot to heavily research them, so they're not going to be great, but there's also some other stuff to talk about. But yeah, the Year of the Dragon is coming up, and apparently it's bad luck for the dragon, so with both of them. My sister's seeing the dragon, so not great for her, but well, hopefully it's not too bad. I don't feel gambling doesn't get worse. It's not that bad, if I'm honest. Mostly just of those penning things at the seaside, those sorts of gambling. Nothing big, which is good. Don't think she's into gacha either, which is always good to hear. Never like to hear that someone's into gacha. Was that 1999, by the way? No, but yes. Those are the those are the what? Dragons, folktales. Let's get into the first tale of a dragon today, and for the first one, I think I'd like to talk about the first dragon tale, though the first is always going to be very different from what we assume to be it's always going to be different, because the first dragon tale is different from the others. It's honestly more of a snake tale. Apologies for the drawings. I don't have the reference right now, but roughly, it's something like this. I might be thinking, what on earth is happening here? And as I said, I'm doing this from memory, so I can't quite remember what the drawings look like. But what this is meant to be is a South African cave painting. But again, terrible rendition of one. But the first, let's get into the actual first tale. And it's not really a tale per se, there's no through line of narrative or such, but it is something interesting. And that would of course be, the tale is of course, the rain snake, or the rain serpent. It's to do with snakes and rain, that much is clear. Of course, yes, you can see that. This is one depiction, but another notable depiction that's also interesting is, actually, the main crucial. Is of course something more like this. Again, terrible depiction of a cave painting, but it's roughly this. But this is also a snake, or at least also called a snake. Something like this. The cave painting is something along the lines of this, but these are interesting because again, this is referred to as a snake, and obviously the other image, cave painting, is closer to a snake, but these two, found in South Africa, are interesting because they are what some would describe as the first dragon myth, or at least the first dragon belief. So, let me set to the stage. South Africa, and it's dry. It's been dry for quite a long time now. It's hot, it's dry, but and when it's dry, the land wilts and food becomes scarce. But then, one day, a snake appears, and you stab it. You just stab the snake, and lots of snakes appear, and you stab them, and suddenly there's rain. And so, there's a belief, that this is something of a dragon myth, of a dragon story, where, where, say, like, it's the origin of some motifs in dragon tales, namely, obviously being serpent-like, but also their association with water, because if you know dragons globally, they're more associated with water than they are with fire. Obviously, like the actual classic breathing fire stuff you have in Western stories, but even then, you have plenty of association with water, like they often live in water, and even then they're still snaky. But yes, this is quite possibly one of, if not the first, dragon myths, maybe. So yeah, that's just a very interesting story from South Africa. And possibly the first dragon myth. Or you could say it's the first snake myth. If you want to split hairs about it. Whatever. But yeah, it's not much of a story. It's mostly just a belief, and possibly a very interesting, a belief and a possible origin. So yeah, that's that. And onto the first actual story. So, let me just grab. So the next story, next story is from China, which is fitting because, of course, well, it is the Lunar New Year, which is celebrated in China, among other places, and so I don't know, and so it's just fitting. Let me just double check something. This is my sort of prepared this. But yes, this one is and this one is another origin myth per se. I say per se because it's it's an explanation story. An explanation story is always fun. So here you have 4 dragons. Chinese dragons, of course. So you got the pearl dragon. Can you see that? Then you got the black dragon. You got the yellow dragon. And you got the long dragon. Very rough depictions of dragons. But yes. So, these are 4 living dragons, and they're living in ancient China, and they're having a time. They're going along. It's life. But life isn't always great, and right now there's a bit of a drought, and it's really getting to the people. Crops are failing one after another, and people are looking at a famine, and it's gonna be a bad one. And so the dragons, these 4 noble creatures, are like, we ought to do something about this. so they set their minds to do just that. Unfortunately, they can't do anything on their own. But they are dragons, so they do have connections. And so they fly up to the Jade Palace, and they go to the Jade Emperor, and they're like, yo, Jade Emperor, could we pretty please get some rain? It's pretty dry down there, we need help. Could you do this for us? And the Jade Emperor's like, he didn't knock, but this is sort of my job, so I'm gonna give you rain tomorrow. Now soon. Get off with you. And the dog's like, well, you said you were gonna do it, so that's great. So they leave. And they wait a day. They wait a day for the rain. And no rain comes. And they're like, well, one day rain isn't so bad. And so they wait another day. And no rain comes. And another day. And no rain comes. And another day. And no rain comes. And they're beginning to be like, well, this ain't it, mate. This ain't it at all. Can't believe the Great Emperor's broke his promise like that. That's right, mean. That's not on, mate. Not on at all. And so they decide, well, if the Great Emperor isn't going to do anything about this terrible drought, then we will. So, the 4 dragons scoop up a lot of water. They go down to the sea, and they just scoop up an inordinate amount of water. Just a silly amount of water in their mouths. And with this water in their mouths, they let it fall. And it falls, and it rains. Well, rains, quote unquote. And it's great. The people rejoice. The drought is no more, and everyone's living their best lives. Well, not quite everyone. The people, of course, are doing great. They got water again, the crops are growing once more, life is great. So they pray to the Great Emperor, thank you for this rain, which, bear in mind again, the Great Emperor ain't got nothing to do with this, because he forgot to do rain. This is all the dragons. But they pray to him, like, thanks for the rain, and the Great Emperor notices. And coincidentally, some ocean spirits noticed that the dragons had scooped up silly amounts of water for the rain, and this spirit ain't so happy. They do not like it one bit. And so, at the same time, the people are rejoicing and praying towards the Great Emperor for the rain. An ocean spirit is complaining to the Great Emperor for these 4 dragons that have scooped up silly amounts of water. There's a noticeable and a notable dip in sea level. They're not having it. So the Great Emperor notices, and they're like, well, you guys have done goofed. So you know what? No more dragon. Mountain spirit, drop a mountain on their heads. And they do that. They drop a mountain on each of them, trapping them underneath a mountain each. This is obviously not good for them. And no one likes being trapped underneath a mountain. But it isn't entirely bad news, because the dragons had so much water in their mouths that when they got trapped underneath the mountain. Water continues to flow out of their mouths, even when they're trapped under the earth, and these became springs, which flowed into rivers. The 4 great rivers in China, the Pearl Dragon becoming the Pearl River, the Black Dragon becoming the Black River, the Yellow Dragon becoming the Yellow River, and the Long Dragon becoming the Yangtze River. And that is the origin story of the 4 major rivers in China. And here we see again dragons or serpents, dragons, in this sort of benevolent role. You see a problem and they go to fix it, and also they bring rain, another thing dragons often do. Sorry. Yeah, another thing that dragons often do. Yeah, and also as usual in Chinese mythology, the Jade Emperor and the Jade Palace and all that, and all of heaven is too tied up in bureaucracy and nothing works, and only by breaking the rules can you fix anything. Classic Chinese mythology. Would be the heavens without bureaucracy. But yeah, nice story. Again, dragons being associated with water. Actually, another Chinese story about dragons with water, which is very relevant now. If you didn't know, but the reason the dragon is so low, relatively low, in the year order, when they can literally fly, is simply because they were off hunting a village with water making rain for them, so they wouldn't die, and they got to the race late. And that's right. And that's right. The dragon is a stream light. Then some stream seems to be alright. Yeah, good then, nothing. Ignore me talking about that. But yeah, that's a couple Chinese stories about dragons. There's more, of course, there's a lot more, of course. But that's enough for those sorts of dragons. For now, at least. Yeah. Next one I'd like to talk about, is again one I don't really have, say, a story about, but it is a very interesting dragon, and it's the Gutsang, or once again from South Africa. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, that's a terrible group slang. Let's try that again. But yeah, the group slang. So, the group song is another South African dragon, again, serpentine, but I don't care. It's, very interesting. It's very weird. So, the story behind the group song is that when the world was created, the group slang was created along with all the other animals, and then the creators looked at the group slang and like, oh no, we messed up, this is fucking wild, this is going to kill everything, like, damn, oh no, oh crud, not great at all, and so, since they were like, this beast with with an elephant head and a body of a snake, or rather, a giant muscled beast with scales, this is going to kill everything. So they decided to split the group slang in two, with, of course, the head and body becoming an elephant and the tail body becoming the snake, splitting its strength and its wisdom from its cunning and sneakiness, so that it wasn't all of those things. But they did not split all of them in two, so one escaped. One group slang escaped, away and intact. Now this is not good for everyone else, because this group slang is both greedy, strong and cunning. It's, you know, all the traits you associate with both, but in one supreme being, one ultimate life form, if you will, and so, this group slang with the head of a elephant and body of a snake, and with a diamond for eyes glimmering in the sockets, decides to leave, goes to the bottomless pit, or the wonder hole, or whatever else you want to call it, and it just hides down there. It just chills. Well, I couldn't really describe it as just chilling, because it eats people and it steals stuff, especially golden gems, to hoard. And it'll just and down, try to see what goes on there, and they'll disappear, and no one will know what happened, and presumably they're eaten by this giant elephant snake. But yeah, that's the group slang. There have been expeditions to find it, so none have been successful. There have been sightings, of course, but yeah. Again, it's a South African story, so obviously I feel some affinity for it. But beyond that, I just like it. It's just a very weird snake, elephant, dragon. Fun. Let's see. It carries the motifs of like less water, but it does have a treasure hoard, like some European dragons, and it's very snaky and smart. Oh. But yes, yeah, I don't really have much more to say than that, so, yeah, that's my third dragon for the day, or more than 6. What other dragons could I talk about? I could talk about the roast dragon, but I don't really know the story behind that beyond it's a roast dragon. Yeah, can't think of any other dragon myths I know them off the top of my head. In real life, so instead I'll be talking about Monster Dragons next, because I like Monster Hunter. Yeah. Dragons in Monster Hunter are, well, elder dragons are pretty much just a race in taxa, for animals that don't belong anywhere else, but there are some dragons who's notable in a universe, an interesting lore. The first of course, lots of them I do, but I want to focus on a couple of them, those being Dalamada and Patalis. Now Dalamada is my favourite monster to see Kajunk evolve. It's just a very cool big snake with arms and a couple spikes. They look like they're from a horror game, and they're great. Yeah, I love Dalamada. But they, as I said, they have some interesting in-universe lore about them. Now, obviously, the Dalamada, or 9 old Dalamadas in the Rotten Vale create the Vale. But what's interesting about that is that from that they gain an association with life. Like the Legend of the Five goes in one of the world, goes to 5 dragons with Sphinx, which are the Sapphire Star, which guides people, which is presumably Sappy Dreamer and Shadow Dreamer, because, you know, the whole blue star is for them, whole motif. The dragon that raises its gaze and makes mountains, which is obviously Charlotte's boulder. Another easy one, since obviously there are some creatures making and destroying mountains, and sometimes throughout the flight Charlotte's boulder will literally look up to the sky and use its powers to drag up boulders and stuff to make or destroy mountains. The dragon which sank down and became land. Another easy one. This one is Flora Magados, and the specific event is probably the guiding land, because Flora Magados sank down and became an island. That's really cool. And another one-to-one association. And the final two are, of course, the dragon that makes the rain, which Stuxo makes the rivers and lakes, and Shredder scales to make rain. This one is a bit more in the open, because the obvious answer would be Myao. That's the one that makes rivers and stuff. But the Shredder scales to make rain is a little harder to place, since no Monster and Sunbreak does this. Obviously Sibelius uses scales, but the closest monster to like using scales is like the Mimic what's it called? What was I thinking? Whatever. But the closest thing to schedule servers, so that just aka Steve and the game devs having of course the dog can, what was I saying? Dog associated the water by being able to help make the bridge. That's it really. And the first dragon, and the most important is of course Daidai, that's the dragon which slept and became the forest. Very cool rule there. And this sleeping to become a forest isn't the first time you've seen it. From Daidai, the first time was actually in the debut game wasn't for you. Specifically Daidai is associated with creation since yeah. Sorry for being EP. But yeah, Daidai has an association with life and creation. Its weapon line, each weapon describes a day of creation, which I think is very cool. I like it. Yeah. And of course the other dragon for the series that I want to talk about is Palakisu. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting Palakisu lore. If Daidai is snaky like Asian or African dragons, then Palakisu is a classic European bozo who breathes fire, very hot, very cool. I have not much to talk about it that's not already been said. It seems to regenerate, it is incredibly powerful, it destroyed Castle Street in a day, lots of stuff about it. Very cool, but I don't think I could actually add anything this way. So yeah, those are some Dragon Tales. I can't actually think of any more if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't really have any more. You can tell I'm tired. Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say at this point, so I'll just leave it here. I'd continue, but I'm tired anyway, you can tell. So instead I'm just gonna leave you here. Yeah. The accuracy settings, or accuracy settings, or however you want to say it, they bet they are greedy, yada yada. So I hope you enjoyed me just rambling about some dragons. Don't know what the point of that was. Well, bye.